Okay, two things today. Number one, I'm going to review some different cameras and make some suggestions for you to use. Those of you who are asking, Carl, what kind of camera do you use? I'm going to show you the different cameras I use. The other thing I'm going to answer is somebody saw my hairless cat and Googled them and found out these little guys go for around $1,800. Said, Carl, how can you afford an $1,800 cat? Well, see, there's two ways down here in the South you can do it. One way is to write a check for $1,800. Do you think I would pay $1,800 for a cat? No, see, there's another way. Once a week, what you do is you go to the cat pound, right? Get a $25 cat, a $1.50 can of shaving cream, a nice little razor, and it's time for his weekly shave. And this is how you get a $25 cat to look like a $1,500 cat. So, Jangles, this won't hurt a bit. Oh, hold still. There, that wasn't so bad, is it? Nice and smooth, too. All right, enough of enough of the hairless cat, and no animals were hurt in the shooting of this video. I don't want to get the videos now. But so let's walk into the other room. I'll get cleaned up. Let's walk into the other room and let's review some of the different cameras, the pros and the cons, and I'll help you decide which one you should be using. Let's go in the other room. Okay, so what we're going to do is what a lot of you have been asking for. You've been asking, Carl, what kind of camera should I use? And I'm going to walk you through each camera that I used, and in each segment we're going to be shooting with that particular camera so that you'll be able to see this. We're going to go from the very inexpensive that you probably already have to a more moderately priced camera. I don't have anything real fancy, and you're going to find you don't need that. And always keep in mind, any video you do is infinitely better than the one that you didn't do. So we're going to walk you through this. Oh, the other thing I want you to do is, as you're watching this, keep in mind what you're hearing. It's a very important part of it. People will forgive your video, like if it's a little dark or grainy, or maybe you don't have good lighting on you or something like that. People will forgive you for that. But the audio, boy, it needs to be just as good as you can make it. So as you're watching this, keep in mind what you're hearing too. And I'm shooting this in my home right now for two reasons. Number one, so you'd have different things behind me so you could see the crispness of each camera. And I'm wearing my famously pink shirt so that you can see the difference between white and pink. Some of the cameras might show it better than others. So that's what we're doing. And we have my famous Ren 1010 back here keeping guard of everything. That's his favorite spot. He's a small little dog, and when he sits up like that, nobody's going to step on him, but yet he can kind of see what's going on. So he is the sheriff in my house, so he's overseeing all this. So let's jump right into it, and we'll start with the camera that I started on and work our way up. This won't take long, but I think you'll find great benefit in this, and it'll help you decide what camera you should be shooting your videos on, because we all know you should be shooting video. So let's start with the first one, which is going to be the one I started on that all started it all, is a little pocket camera. And the particular one that I use is a Canon, like a Canon Sure Shot. These run about $100, give or take. But so let's change it over and start shooting with this camera, and then we'll talk about real briefly the pros and cons of it. So I'll see you on the Canon.
Okay, so this is the Canon, and I've got somebody holding it. Now, one advantage of the Canon, or again, this is the kind of camera you take to Disney World, is you probably already have one. Now, if you notice the sound's actually pretty good on this camera. I'm in a hollow room, so this is worst case scenario. If you was outside, you wouldn't be hearing the echo, and it'd sound a lot cleaner. Again, you can mount a tripod, or you can mount this on a tripod, because it does have the little screw holes on the bottom of it. But sometimes it's kind of nice to have somebody holding it, because sometimes as I'm shooting a video, I'll have the person kind of move a little bit to the left. That's your key, Miss Cameraman, to kind of move a little bit to the left and move a little bit to the right. And it adds a little bit of motion to it. So they'll kind of walk around me a little bit as I'm talking. Not too much, but a little bit. But you get the idea like this. So it just adds a little bit more liveliness to it without getting people seasick. So like that. It also has a zoom on it like most cameras does. We don't need to necessarily do that. It does shoot this in the square film, so it's not widescreen, but that's okay, and it's incredibly easy to use. You probably already have one. And if you're in just one more big thing, if you're in a hollow room, it's a little bit echo. If they move up a little bit, if you do it a little closer, that'll help get rid of some of the echo. But again, I'm in a worst case scenario here, a real hollow room. Okay, this is the iPhone smart camera, but any of the new generation smart cameras will give you this video that you're seeing right here. So not too shabby actually, pretty darn good. Again, you always have it with you because it's your telephone, and you can do those spontaneous videos and let people get to know you, doing it at your favorite restaurant or at friends' houses, things like that. You get the idea. Doing things with the family, always good, strong, positive things to do with your video. So the next camera we're going to show you, upside and downside, the positives of this, again, you always have it with you. Downside, it doesn't have a tripod, so it's hard to do one of yourselves. I've never been a real fan of the people that when they carry around their camera and take a picture of themselves, I always get a little seasick or something when I'm watching those, so I'm not a huge fan of that. Get a buddy to hold one, or do what we do here in South Florida, and I always carry duct tape everywhere I go. You can duct tape this thing right to a tree or to your motorcycle or whatever, so that's how us rednecks down here in Florida do it. Okay, this is the Kodak ZI-8. Now, I understand they quit production on the ZI-8 and they've replaced it with a ZI-10. It's in essence the same camera. I love, love, love this camera. It's strongly recommended because it, number one, has great video. The audio straight from the camera is okay, it's fine. But when I hook up, I'm getting ready to hook up a remote mic to this because it's got a plug-in for remote mic. It's going to sound dramatically better. I think you're really going to like it. And to my knowledge, the Kodak ZI-8 and ZI-10, which is what you're watching now, is the only camera like under $1,000 that allows you to plug in remote mics. It's got a jack right on the side of it. I don't know why none of the others don't have it, but they don't. So that's the main reason I like the Kodak. Again, it's like a little flip camera. Put it right in your pocket, carry it anywhere you go. It's easy, it's cheap, about 120 bucks. So I really give this one 2 thumbs up. Now I'm getting ready to hook up the remote mic, and so I'm going to put on the receiver, which is this one, has a little lapel mic, and the camera person is getting ready to plug this into the camera. But another option, this runs about, you're going to hear it, this runs about $120. Another real good option though is you can get these little remote mics that have a wire on them, and this is about a 20-foot wire, give or take. And again, I just wear the little lapel mic here on my collar, and then this plugs into the camera. Now we are wired together with a wire, but it's real small, about 20 foot long, sounds excellent, costs about 15 bucks. All of them work fine. I got mine at a local guitar store. So excellent option also, but just so I don't have to deal with a wire, and frankly to justify the $120 that I spent, I'm going to use this remote one. I think you're going to see a dramatic difference in the audio. So I'll see you on the next video, which will have the remote mic.
Okay, now this is the Kodak ZI-8 with the remote mic. So you probably notice a lot of the echo's gone. You can hear me a whole lot better. So I strongly recommend this combination. Kodak ZI-8, Kodak ZI-10 with a remote mic. Doesn't have to be a wireless. The wired version again is 15 bucks. It's a bargain. Strongly recommend this. I use this a lot of the time. Love, love, love it. Can't say enough. Wish I owned it. How come I don't? Okay, so the next camera we're going to look at is the Mac Daddy Sony, but you're going to notice this thing runs about 1,300 bucks. I'm getting ready to show you, and you compare it to what you're watching right now. I'm telling you, I don't know if I should have spent this. So, but anyway, let's look at the next one. Okay, and this is a Sony XR550, which basically is your, kind of like a camcorder, the classical camcorder. These are real nice. One good thing I like about these is you can flip the screen around so that you can see yourself in the screen, so you keep yourself centered a little bit if you don't have somebody operating the camera for you. So that's kind of a nice thing. The other thing, it does have a wireless mic, and so I'm using the little Sony microphone right here. These are real nice if you've got somebody else in the video with you. This mic will pick both of you up. Downside of the lapel microphone, it'll only pick up one of you. So I really like this little Sony wireless mic, and I'll flash a picture across the screen here, something like that. This thing is also good for recording about 8 hours of high definition video. I don't know when you would actually do that. Maybe you're doing some sort of event or something like that. Because again, most of the time you want to keep your videos to around 2 or 3 minutes, something like that going out. But this is a real nice camera. But keep in mind, the one that started it all was my little pocket camera that you already have. And that's what bought the Sony camera. This Sony camera, if I remember right, costs right around $1,300, the one that you're watching right now. And you'll probably see that the video quality's not that much different than maybe like the iPhone camera. Shouldn't be too much different. So that's it. That's a review of the cameras here. Let's see, call to action. See, I forgot to do that part. We have to have, always have a call to action in your videos. So I'm just going to tell you, if there's a button down there, click on it. We'll put something that's kind of cool for you guys. And the other thing is, if you look, I believe it's right over there, make sure that you're subscribed if you haven't subscribed before. And see the LinkedIn button up there? If you link up with me on LinkedIn, I'll show you a neat little thing that I learned how to do on LinkedIn. So a really cool thing. If you're not already linked up, make sure you do that too. So LinkedIn, subscribe, click on a button, and now you've seen my videos. Again, guys, I'm going to tell you, don't wait until, as soon as I get this or as soon as I get that, go do your videos right now. Those of you that are members in the MMA or the Real Estate Marketing Animals, I've got the 2 years of scripts all done for you. Those are your scripts. Go do them and start posting these things. So thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys. Take action, and I'll see you right here next week on your Saturday Strategy.